Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I'm thrilled that you're here. And someone asked me a question about robotic affirming and asked if I would make a podcast about it, and I said that I would. And so here we are, and I'm going to talk about it. So robotic affirming, if you don't know what it is, which I'm sure most of you listening do, is just where you say an affirmation over and over and over again, kind of mindlessly, like while you're doing something else. Like I've often done it when I'm like at an appointment, like a wax appointment or some sort of appointment like that, where we're not talking a whole lot. I'm not talking with the person a whole lot. And I can just really kind of say it over and over again. Say it when I'm walking, say it when I'm washing my dishes. So that's how I do it. It's just an affirmation that is, about what you want, whatever you're manifesting. And with that affirmation, you just say it over and over again, and you're not really focused. You're not putting a lot of feeling behind it. And so this person wanted me to speak to, why does robotic affirming work if feeling is the secret? Now, so let's kind of just go into this. I've mentioned a couple of times in a few different episodes that there are all different kinds of ways to manifest, and they all work. And the key is that you as the God of your reality, as the selector of your reality, as the creator of your reality, decide what's going to work, first of all. And even if you're not really deciding, if you're skeptical, you're seeing what will work. What's happening in your internal world, though, is pushing out into your external world. And whatever that is, even if you've just brought your awareness to, even if you're skeptical, like of manifesting, and you've brought your awareness to, I just want to see if this will work, and you start doing a technique, it will work. Even when that skepticism is there. And so it's really whatever your focus is on in your internal world. I think feelings can manifest. I think that's a way to manifest, but I don't think that has to dictate what your manifestation is. I think there's lots of different ways around the bend to get to your manifestation. And robotic affirming, to me, in my mind, it works because you're saturating your mind with what you want. You're saturating your focus, your awareness with what you want. And even if you're not putting a lot of feeling or even really a lot of thought behind it, because you're so focused on these one or two affirmations and you're saying it over and over again, that doesn't leave room for the things that you don't want. Now, that doesn't mean, like, I've manifested some things using robotic affirmations, and I think back on my experience of using robotic affirmations, and I think the thing that really got me is those moments in time where I had doubts, because you're going to have doubts. That's the thing. Like, you don't have to be perfect. It's not like you have to totally change and totally shift everything about you. You just have to be more focused on what you want than focused on what you don't want. Because what you don't want, the ideas of it are going to creep in, because Abraham Hicks says this, every subject is really two subjects, right? The having of the thing and the not having of the thing. And so because they're both things, you can pretty easily slip right into the lack of the thing or focusing on not having the thing. And so, but you just have to tilt your awareness towards the having end of the spectrum more than you do the not having end of the spectrum. And I think that's why robotic affirmations work, because you're so, you just train your mind to say this affirmation over and over again. And you do it so much that it doesn't leave room for your focus to shift back onto the not having of it. And so going back to what I was saying about, when I was doing robotic affirmations to manifest something, and that I got those manifestations, I really would come to this point of doubt and sort of like, is this working? And questioning, whether I was going to get my manifestation or not. And when I did that, I would make a decision to keep going with my robotic affirmations, and I would turn my focus back onto the affirmation and just keep saying it and kind of push through those feelings of doubt and still stay in the focus on what I wanted. And so because I did that, I really feel like that making that decision and keeping going with those robotic affirmations tilted me towards the having of the thing. And then eventually those things pushed out in my 3D reality. And that is why I think robotic affirmations are a great technique if you just don't know what to do. Now, here I think is the drawback of robotic affirmations is that I've found when I've used them as my primary manifesting tool is that they feel kind of time consuming, right? Like you're having to focus on that affirmation quite a bit. Even when you get it down, kind of just where it's wrote, you still have to be like, okay, let me do my affirmation some more. So it can feel that way. Now, if you just enjoy it, then absolutely keep doing it. I mean, I think that's wonderful. And, I've considered like if there's something I'm manifesting, like going back and trying some robotic affirmations again, because I know that they worked for me in the past. And so they could work for me this time. And so I'm considering it. But so if that is a technique, a tool that you want to use in your manifesting toolkit, by all means do it. It absolutely has worked for me. And someone asked me why I thought that robotic affirmations worked for me. And that's what this podcast is about. So thank you so much for asking the question for the person who asked it to me. And thank you so much for listening. And may you manifest exactly what you want.